Okay, well, I don't normally do or comment on breaking news stories or making YouTube videos based on breaking news stories because they fade away so fast. I like to do educational, okay, programs like topics that are academic in nature that can last long. Okay, I like to I like to discuss issues like career skills, science, right, and university programs, etc., etc. Things that can last long. Okay, people can watch maybe 10, 20 years, okay, to come. But still, this one is very, very important to me to comment on because it's about celebrities, and I feel like life of celebrities will still remain the same even in 50 years from now. Certain things will be the same. So I want to explain certain things about what we observed in the death of AKA. And I feel like so many celebrities there are so many celebrities that like AKA. Alright? So there is something that I noticed about the death, and I would like to share my views, and this should be kind of lesson to all celebrities in the world. Okay, all the celebrities in the world from now and on. Okay, at least we can get some lessons from the death of AKA, something that I noticed, and I'll give you in depth of what I noticed. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. And I greet you all wherever you are, I greet you all, including even Muslims. I tell you, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Wow, everywhere. Alright. Comme je d'abord, bonjour, bonjour, comment allez-vous? Alright, I don't have to forget to greet everyone. Dumelang. Yeah, Dumelang. Botswana. Lesotho. Alright. Dumelang. So we have seen the videos on YouTube and people discussing and then pointing fingers. And I want to tell you that before I ask a question, I want to tell you that my opinion, all right, most of the theories that people are making on YouTube about AKA's death are all wrong. All of them, they are wrong. Okay, the death of AK is so complicated. Okay, and the scenes that we have seen from the CCTV videos, okay, the way people are analyzing them, okay, it's totally wrong. And I want to tell you that from my understanding, or my opinion, that is not, the situation is not as simple as people are making it. It's very complicated. That death is a very complicated death. That it's not easy just to make opinion the way people are actually putting forward. For example, I want to go straight into the guy who is being mentioned as maybe prime suspect, Don Design. To be Don Design is a promoter, or a promoter for AKA, and a promoter for many, many other artists. From what I know, Don Design is the guy who promoted AKA, and everything about AKA was Don Design. It's actually his brainchild. Everything about AKA, perhaps almost everything, because Don Design is a guy who does video promotions and everything else. From what we have heard, he was supposed to be a lawyer, but he dropped out of university to pursue career, and he's well-to-do, he's rich. But what I want to say, from what we have seen on the CCTV, I want to shock you, I want to surprise you with this statement that Don Design, okay, did not order the shooting, and possibly was not part of the plan of the shooting. Okay, from the video itself. Okay, just from the video, I want to show you from the video itself. Okay, it has been shown already. So many people have shared that video, but I want you can go back to that video and watch it again and again. Okay, you see that don't design may not have been part of the reorganizing of that shooting. Okay, I want to explain to you why I think like that. Okay, check all the 2 videos or 3 videos that are showing where don't design is gesturizing or showing gestures. Okay, and I'll explain to you on the point of psychology, okay, what it means. Okay, from my opinion, okay, don't design may just have had some knowledge, okay, that something was going to happen, okay, yeah, or may have had a knowledge that AKA was in danger, right, or was being hunted by some people, okay, to be killed, right. And what I'm trying to say is that, from my opinion, I take don't design as a person who is playing double standard, or who was playing double standards. Okay, playing double standards in the sense that he knew that maybe AKA was in danger, but at the same time he thought maybe AKA was not in danger. You see, possibly, okay, there was a rivalry or rift, okay, or crisis between AKA with someone else, okay, and that person is a friend or comrade as well to Don't Design, okay, and Don't Design was also a good friend to AKA. See, so he was on the middle. So what he was, all the actions that are showing on the video is like the guy who is playing double standards. You see, he's standing both sides, all right? Even all the gestures, all right? They were, to me, they look like gestures that were well rehearsed, okay? That he would do those gestures, all right? Not necessarily trying to direct, okay, the whole scene, but to show to someone that he was doing something. You understand? All right. But at the same time, he was cautious that nothing must happen. Maybe you have never seen that kind of situation. You must be in the situation where you're dealing with people with double standards. You see, they would look like they want to help you. At the same time, they will look like they don't want to help you. You see, they want to show 2 actions at the same place, all right? Because they belong to 2 camps. You understand? So all the gestures that I see with Don't Design are a person who is on 2 camps, in 2 camps, a member of 2 camps. He's trying to play double standards, all right? According to my psychology. Now, the evidence, or a strong evidence to this point that I'm making, check the videos. You will see that the killers were not controlled by Don't Design. See, the way they were moving everything else, you see that they were not controlled by Don't Design. Their movement, actually the killers that are very visible are 2. And even the car, you see there is a car that started moving immediately after the shooting, okay? And that time, the car, the way it was moving, that car, it's clear that, you know, the whole scene was not controlled by someone who was there. And let me tell you that from my knowledge about shooting, okay, and my opinion about shooting, there is no way someone can organize a shooting and be there on the scene. That is suicide. It cannot happen. And maybe it's never happened in the world. Never. It can't. You can't organize a shooting at the same time be on the scene of the shooting, unless you are crazy or you're stupid. See, it doesn't happen like that. You see, sometimes, yes, people do organize a shooting, okay, and they can watch it, but they can watch it from far. You see what is happening there, but not be on the same scene and as a player, right on the same scene. You see where Don't Design is. Check the position of Don't Design, where he is, okay, and check the position of the shooters. Okay, any small mistake, one of the shooters was gonna shoot don't design. You see, and he check even the shock, the surprise. You will see that don't design was so surprised with the shooting that maybe he was aware that he's gonna be shooting, but not at that point, not exactly that point. You see, there was that whole scene was not controlled by him, and some people saying that they're saying that it was a plan went wrong. No, I don't think so. It's not about the plan went wrong. Those shooters were not in control of themselves, and possibly if you find out, maybe those shooters don't know don't design, did not know don't design. You see, all they knew was AKA. You see, that is possible. Let me explain how hits are organized, or robberies are organized. Sometimes this is very, very important that you must know. What happens that if I want to organize a hit, all right, I will hire someone. You see, that one is an agent, okay, and that agent will hire the first boy, okay. To him, this is the guy who will carry the job, but this guy also maybe is not is not courageous or brave enough. He will hire his friend. So what happens that I will know this guy, my agent only, okay, but my agent will know his boy, okay, and this boy will know his friend, okay. Those friends, that friend will not know me, he will not know the agent. You see, so it's like a chain, okay. I know this guy knows that guy knows that guy. That is usually how the criminals organize themselves, you see, so much so that after the work, because usually when you talk about money, they receive money up front. Once they receive their money, they receive money up front. What happens there on the heat? What happens there on the receipt is nothing else to do whatever will happen there. Okay, they don't care about that. Okay, whatever will happen in the sea is something else. They don't care about that. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that there on the scene, don't design, okay, was not part of the hit. Okay, don't design was not part of the hit. Okay, that's what I'm saying, that was not part of the hit. But perhaps he knew that there was going to be a hit or something like that. Okay, he knew to say, maybe he knew that there's going to be a hit. So my opinion is that I think don't design was on the mid, was playing double standards. Okay, was playing double standards, right? On the side of AK and at the same time on the side of the hit me. Okay, I may sound like I'm contradicting, but I'm not contradicting. For someone who is very skilled about knowledge, or who has some knowledge of psychology, would understand what I'm talking about. If you look at the guy, the shooter, the main shooter, the guy who killed AKA, okay, look at where he's coming from. Some people have said he looks like a woman or whatever. I'm not sure that she looks like a woman. Look at that video and check where that guy is coming from, okay, and check how he crosses. When he crosses there the road, he looks like a guy, all right, and then he crosses, he comes close, but where he's running, he looks like he's a lady, all right, but somehow, okay, you can see some people have said that we see a ponytail, okay, but it looks like that ponytail looks like maybe a shadow of himself, you see. So it's debatable. And someone said we see some hips, but they don't look like hips after all. Okay, maybe they are hips, of course, but because investigations are ongoing, we'll understand the whole story, that maybe it's real, they were hips. But it's possible these days with the kind of clothes that people wear, sometimes people dress something that can look like, okay, in a tense situation like that, so where you're running, it can look like hips, but it's not. Maybe they are pockets or whatever it is. So that's what I'm saying. That if you look at the second shooter where he was shooting and look at the position of don't design, you'll see that those guys, they didn't care about anyone else. They only wanted to do anything they could do there. Okay, even a small mistake, don't design was going to be shot. You see. So how could don't design be organizer of the shooting and at the same time be positioned, okay, facing the shooters? You see, this is where we should be actually very cautious about the statements that maybe don't design was actually the main organizer of the shooting, I want to say that I doubt. Personally, I think it's not true. It cannot be true. Okay, there we have to be very careful. But I think the gestures that he made, okay, I cannot ignore those gestures. I cannot ignore those gestures. I saw them really well, but they mean one thing. That guy, I think, okay, he may have knowledge, okay, of the whole scene of what was likely to happen, but he was not sure that it can happen. All right, because it was already in the public domain that AKA was being hunted or wanted by some people, wanted, and so on and so forth, because of the death of another lady that was girlfriend to him, Anneli Ntembe, something like that. All right. Now, on the story of Anneli Ntembe, is also very, very controversial because Anneli Ntembe was a girlfriend to AKA, and at the time that AKA died, there are reports that he was about to appear in court, and some people even speculate that AKA was about to be arrested, okay, to appear in court, to be questioned on the day, because he was the main suspect. There were reports that he pushed his girlfriend, okay, off the tall building, okay, but also other reports said, no, this lady committed suicide because she had attempted suicide before. Okay, if a person attempts suicide, doesn't mean that after attempting suicide, then he can commit suicide. No. You see, those two sins cannot be easily related. You see, you can try to string them, but they cannot be easily related. You see, there must be direct relationship that this sin led to this sin. Okay, so it's not easy. But what I'm trying to say, how would you say that someone from KwaZulu-Natal, okay, who was not related to maybe Anneli Ntembe, or was related to, and would stage a mere revenge, okay, just a mere revenge to get, AKA killed. You see, and then you see, what we're talking about here is money. These killers cannot just do a job for free. They were paid a lot of money. Who can sacrifice so much money just for another person, or for, it doesn't really make sense unless there is a profit, good profit, monetary profit. There is good money that will be associated to that. Okay, so there you can say, all right, there will be money. Okay, after killing AK, they will win something. So what I'm saying is that I think AK's death is linked or associated to a lot of money. Okay. Perhaps, in my opinion, I think AKA had enemies, but these enemies were not mere enemies in the sense like just rivalry for girlfriend, whatever it is. No, there should be some people who owed AKA money, right? Maybe promoters or whosoever, someone else, okay, owed AKA money, too much money, and did not want to pay that money. You see, and because of that, may have planned to get rid of AK and pay killers. So it's cheap. That is very cheap. Even in the taxi industry, that's the problem. It's not about what, it's about money. It's about money. Only is money. You see. So everything else is money. Money, money, money. You must look at the whole situation is about money. Even AK himself, okay, many people have asked the questions why the bodyguard was not there. Okay. That's the same thing. Perhaps possibly the time that AK was going to Durban, okay? Even his own family maybe was aware that he was going to Durban. Okay, so to investigate this, possibly there is a need to do a lot of investigation, to talk to the people who were staying with AK, even his own family. Okay, perhaps some members of his family were aware, okay, of his movements. They should be, because you should be surprised. How did AKA managed to go to Durban, maybe perhaps alone, without someone very close to him, best friend or a relative or a brother, sister, or someone else, or A loved one was not even there. She was alone, and then a promoter. See, a promoter is not like your brother or someone else. He's not promoting only you, promoting so many artists, and there are so many rivalries in the industry. And aka death came, okay, after 2 other controversial deaths. So it must kind of, you know, show you that you can't think that AK was not aware that this is a very dangerous situation, but possibly he was brave enough to say that no, I will pass on this. But the stake, okay, the stakes were too high, okay. Well, possibly he was told that, you know what, okay, if you come to Devon, okay, you're gonna get all your money, all right. I'm gonna give you all your money, okay. Hold it short here, and we're gonna give you all your money, okay. You see that, you know, possibly the show in Devon was a cover-up, okay, for some payment that he was anticipating to get some pay from someone else, okay, and he had to go there. And the reason why he had to go alone is to do with possibly cash payments, cash, and he would not want someone else to witness something like that. That's just my opinion, but I want to tell you that the way I know celebrities, that should be money, 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 money. Everything is about money. Even himself, okay, aka, well, why he had to be brave to go to Devon is because anticipation for cash. You see, anticipation for cash. So that's my opinion, but I know that maybe this cannot be true, but I'm sure 100% the way I know artists, they are very, very hungry for money. So what is the lesson? The lesson to everybody, all the artists in the world and celebrities, okay, it has become, I have taken notice that most artists, they are kind of, you know, doing a lot of businesses and rackets that you run. There are so many artists, others even they're running drugs, you see. And you see, like the case of South Africa, more deaths they are registered in the taxi industry and in the drug industry. Okay. This is where this is not something strange. You see, if a person gets involved in things like this, just know that we're gonna be in trouble. You see, because mostly what happens is the same thing about debts, okay, supply, debts, payments, etc., and blackmails. A lot of blackmails, ending in debts, killing each other. For example, if someone owes you, if owes you 20 million, okay, and then it's so easy. It's better to hire killers. All right, we'll pay those people 750 or 1 million, okay, and then get rid of you. How much is the profit? You see, 19 million something. So that's where you artists must be very careful. Don't be hungry for money. If someone owes you money, you must be careful that how will you gonna recover that money? It's not easy. It's very, very, very difficult. He's not gonna give you cash, of course, but he can trap you to say, visit our place, because there is something very important. You have to sign somewhere, this and that, this and that. No, he's not gonna give you that money. Is too much for you. Okay, always be vigilant to get your money. All right. If you leave other people, let them owe you a lot, just know that you're not gonna get that money. You pay it with your life. That's where the problem is. So What is my point? My point is I want to shock you. I want to surprise you to say that I think Don Design was not directly, okay, designing or planning, okay, the shooting. He was not. And if a mistake happened, he was likely to be one of the victims. He was gonna be shot as well. Why was this possible? Because even if he planned it, okay, let's just assume that he planned it. Like I said before, even if he planned it, killers don't care, because you know what? After planning, he pays them. All right. After paying those people, all right, and then he is found on the same scene of. I mean, they don't care. They can even shoot you because they don't care. Even it's good as well because they bury the evidence. Okay, nobody will ever trace it that, oh, these people were paid, whatever it is, right? The other theory that we can come up with is that the same story about the death of Anel Ntembe, all right? I feel like that maybe, okay, because AK was about to appear in court, maybe there was someone, okay, who did that murder, all right? So AKA was aware of that person, all right? That's how mafias act. Now, what do? They hire killers to take out